Good afternoon. We're just going to give folks a moment to come in from the waiting room and connect to audio. Looks like we have a couple folks who are still connecting.
Can you hear us for now?
We can hear you for now. We're going to ask you to please remain on mute unless or until you are testifying before the entertainment division.
No, we're just going to be mute.
Great. Thank you. It looks like one other person, Zeke Hernandez, is still connecting to audio, so we'll wait just a moment.
Actually, I got the audio over the phone.
Oh, is this you?
Yeah. Okay,
great. And while we have you, before we get started, is it possible to turn your camera on? We will need to swear you in at some point.
Can you see me through my computer?
No.
No, okay. I might need your assistance on that. How I do this? Let me see if I can do it on my phone. No, my phone won't work out. Okay, already joined the meeting. United States, blah, blah, blah. Computer audio, okay, join computer audio and already joined by phone, okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay. It says
We're now hearing you through, I think, two different figures. We still cannot see you.
can you see me?
No.
No.
There we go. Now we can see you.
You got me?
Yes, thank you very much. Great. So we're about to get started. Hang on, I see. Is this Franklin I've been talking to?
No, now it's Franklin that you're talking to.
Oh, so Zeke, we cannot see you still. If you are planning on testifying, we're going to ask you to be on camera, or when the time comes, we will ask you to affirm that you are raising your hand when asked to do so.
Okay, let me see if I can turn, let me see if I'm hitting start video, see if that works. Okay.
We can see you now. This is great. Thank you. Well, now we'll get started and underway. Thank you very much. I'm going to mute folks just so we can get started. Okay, good afternoon. This is an administrative hearing before the Mayor's Office of Consumer Affairs and Licensing. Today is Thursday, May 18th, 2023. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to certain temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. This hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. We are joined today by the Executive Director of the Mayor's Office of Consumer Affairs and Licensing, Kathleen Joyce, and Director of Operations, Rebecca Fu. I will read into the record today's agenda item. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the licensee and who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department, after which I will swear in all parties. The police report will then be read into the record, followed by a statement by the licensee and questions from the Executive Director. The only item on this afternoon's agenda is Lopera Inc. doing business as Nafara 2, located at 127 to 129 Maverick Street in East Boston. Date of the incident, March 13th, 2023. Disc jockey on premise without an entertainment license and a noise violation over 70 decibels. Who is present on behalf of the licensee? I'm going to ask you to unmute so you can identify yourself to the Executive Director. Thank you. Mr. Hernandez, if you could identify yourself, please.
Sure, Zeke Hernandez. I'm here with Oscar and Claudia.
Thank you. Could you please just state the other two persons' names one more time for the record?
Sure, Zeke Hernandez.
Oscar Guzman.
Oscar Guzman. And Claudia Gallego.
Thank you very much. Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Sergeant Michael Holden. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Sergeant. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify this afternoon?
Sergeant Detective William Gallagher, Detective Eddie Hernandez, if need be, on prior incidents, but nothing on for today.
Officer Franklin Ortiz standing by.
Thank you very much. Can all those who plan to testify please raise your right hand? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
You do.
I do.
Thank you very much. Sergeant Holden, if you could please proceed reading the police report into the record.
Yes, absolutely. Good afternoon, all. At about 12:56 a.m. on Monday, 03/13/23, officers Ortiz and Ryther in the Gold 201 Alpha responded to a radio call for an unknown problem inside of Enfire Restaurant and Bar at 127 Maverick Street, East Boston. Officer Doran and the 499 also responded on scene for assistance. On arrival, officers observed several intoxicated Hispanic males outside of the bar who were indicating that there was an altercation that took place inside the bar prior to the arrival of the police personnel. Officers spoke to bar security staff member Andres Toro, who stated that there was a fight between a male and a female couple. He stated that the female struck the male in the face with a glass bottle and fled the area with her female friends on foot down Meridian Street towards Central Square. He provided a partial description of a Hispanic female wearing a green shirt. While speaking to security, officers observed a Hispanic male exit the bar. He appeared to have a small laceration on his left eyebrow and identified himself as Ricardo A. Tejada. He indicated that the incident involved him and his wife, who he identified as Adriana Rojo. Mr. Tejada appeared to be under the influence of alcohol and was having trouble giving officers a detailed explanation of the altercation that transpired inside the bar area. Mr. Tejada was able to clearly state that his wife became argumentative towards him and at some point struck him in the face with a glass liquor bottle, causing a laceration to his left eyebrow. He stated that Ms. Rojo then fled the scene and was possibly en route to their residence at 427 Saratoga Street. He was advised of his 209A rights under Massachusetts general laws. Officers requested a medical response for evaluation purposes. Boston EMS ambulance 1 Alpha 27 responded to the scene and transported Tejada to Mass General Hospital for further medical evaluation and treatment. Officers broadcasted the physical description of suspect Rojo via Channel 2 and made an attempt to locate her at her residence at 427 Saratoga Street to no avail. It should be noted that the District 7 Patrol Supervisor, myself, Sergeant Holden, responded to the scene and made contact with the bar manager, Oscar Guzman. I issued a license premise violation number 022783 for the following. Number 1, AMBDW bottle between patron on patron. Entertainment violation, DJ on premise, and a noise violation being over 70 decibels. That is all.
Thank you very much, Sergeant. Would the licensee like to address the alleged incident? Mr. Hernandez, Mr. Guzman, Ms. Gallego, would you like to address the incident?
Yes, just give me 1 second. Let me explain to them in Spanish what the officer just said.
Absolutely.
Básicamente, lo que el policía dijo fue que en seguridad notificó que la muchacha le había pegado al muchacho con una botella. Y que además de que le pegó con la botella, entonces ellos llamaron a la policía vino y fueron a buscar a la muchacha y todo. Okay.
And sorry, before you begin, just to clarify, the subject of this hearing before the Consumer Affairs and Licensing Office is the entertainment violations, which are the unlicensed DJ and the noise violation. The assault and battery is under the purview of the licensing board. So the subject of today's hearing is the entertainment violation.
Right, but we would just like to clarify because the guy was never hit with a bottle. We have provided the video to a detective in which they can clearly see that the lady hit him with the hand. It was no bottle involved. There was nothing like that. And then the lady just left
Okay.
the premises.
Just gonna focus on the entertainment today.
Okay.
After that.
Nos concentremos en lo de entretenimiento. The premises or enfadados do not have a DJ. I was sitting there and I was making an announcement for the last call, just to let people know to leave the premises, that pay your tab and walk out. I understand that we being charged also for the 70 decibels, and it's only the front door. If you're on the mic and you open the front door, obviously the sound is going to come out much louder than if you have everything open. And I think that's why we got this violation.
Thank
So
you.
are you saying that the door was open when you were?
Yes, when I was announcing the last call to make sure people pay and then walk out of there just to help out to enter the premises as soon as possible. The front door opens and closes. So my assumption is that when he opened, that's when I was on the mic announcing the last call to get people out of there to pay for the tabs and to have them leave the premises as soon as possible, when probably the officer heard the noise or me talking. If you check our records, we don't have any noise complaint from anybody in the area. We have always have everything in a normal sound.
Can I just ask you, you're Zeke, right?
Yes,
What is your role here?
I'm just comes in and just sit down, have a few drinks, and sometimes try to help him out. And that day, I was the one making the announcement for the last call.
Okay, and who is Oscar?
He's the manager. He's the guy right here next to me.
Okay, and who is Claudia?
She is right here on the other side. I don't know if you can see her.
So Claudia is the manager of record and Oscar is the manager, what, that night?
Claudia is the owner and Oscar is the manager.
We have Claudia as the manager of record for this license. But that's fine. Ultimately, her name is on the license, so she is the one responsible for everything that goes on inside.
Yes.
So was Oscar there that night?
Yes.
And was Claudia there that night?
No.
Okay, and Zeke,
Yes.
you're testifying today before us that you are a patron who sometimes helps out and you just, why was there a microphone in use? Was there other entertainment going on?
No, we don't have any entertainment, just to make announcements, the last call, things like that, minor things.
Okay, can I ask someone from BPD, how was the sound measurement taken that night?
Yes, ma'am, it's Sergeant Holden. Typically, when I first get there, I'll use an app on my phone to measure the decibels. I also carry a separate handheld decibel meter if it's in dispute. When I got there and took the initial readings, the doors were not open. And I did several readings with the doors open and closed. So when I give you the over 70, it was probably 85, even with the doors closed.
Okay, so the sound you're talking about that was, you were measuring, was that the sound of Zeke in the microphone saying last call, or was there other sound that you were measuring?
No, that's the noise coming from the bar.
Just the people?
generally.
Okay. And so, when you walked in, can you describe in your own words what kind of entertainment you saw being offered?
Yeah, given the amount of noise and the music that was at the time that we were there, still going on, I went inside the establishment and observed what I typically see as a DJ, which is a gentleman operating off of a laptop computer used to store songs.
And was that Zeke that was operating that?
I'm not sure.
Okay, Zeke or Claudia or Oscar, who was operating the laptop that night?
I was.
Okay,
It's just a computer that we have here in the establishment.
why would you need that?
Because we played music. The music that you're what do you call it? A radio is like a radio to have some sound. I don't have it. It's in the establishment.
Right, so were you selecting the music that was being played that night and changing up the songs?
Not necessarily, because I basically come here to just chill out, not to work. But that day, because we have a little bit crowded, I just started making the announcement of the last call to make sure people get out. And because we know that there was cops outside, we just want to get everybody out of here as soon as possible.
Okay, Sergeant, was there a controller board for the DJ when you walked in?
Not that I recall. They were across the room from me. So
Okay.
as soon as I saw him with his microphone and his laptop, I didn't make an issue of whether or not he was letting the songs play on their own or whether he was going in and selecting them. Like I said, typically that's what we find for a DJ setup in an establishment like this.
Okay, when you walked in, were they cooperative?
I wouldn't say they were uncooperative. I was a little bit peeved that the initial incident, their first response was not to call us. Or an ambulance. Theirs was to call an off-site manager to come down. Yeah, I would say generally they were cooperative. I'm not sure they really understand exactly what the violations are. Typically in that neighborhood, the ambient noise is fairly high anyway.
Okay,
Unfortunately, when you add the bar noise into it as well, it's well above the limits. And like I said, I don't think they really understand what their entertainment license allows them to do music wise. So this is just more for clarification what they can and cannot do in that establishment.
and Zeke, I mean, not
Yes.
Zeke, Claudia, do you have any video, footage inside do you have video inside your licensed premise? And any video from that night?
Que si tienen los videos de esa noche.
Tengo el video que me pidió el detective, yo se lo mandé a él, donde muestra, no se pudo hacer muy largo porque es muy pesado para mandarlo. No toma sino el pedacito donde pasó lo que
Viene
pasó.
siendo,
No,
porque ya
pasó.
después de la semana se borra.
Sí, después de una semana.
We provide the video that the detective asked us to provide him.
Okay,
For what I've been told by Oscar is like every week they get deleted. We provide what they ask
Okay.
about the incident with the lady and the husband.
okay. We'll check and see if that video shows, you know, the area where the laptop is. So are you aware that if you do want to have a DJ, you can apply for one-time licenses for that?
Tú sabes que si uno quiere DJ hay que aplicar por la licencia de ese DJ.
Ok, no
Sí, tú lo
sabía, pues no, dile que no sabíamos y que no habíamos aplicado, pero que si
Porque no
podemos
soy
aplicar, de pronto,
Sí.
si no, pues,
Yes, since we never had a DJ, we haven't applied for it, but if we can apply for it, we'd be more than happy to do that.
Okay, do you understand the noise ordinance in the city of Boston about sound decibels at certain times?
Que si tú entiendes los sonidos, los decibels, y después de cierta hora que los sonidos cambian. Yes,
So do you have a solution for what to do with the door?
que si tenemos alguna solución de sí. O conseguir una máquina de decibels. Yes, as I'm talking to them right now, they're gonna get the decibel meter, and just to make sure that we don't go over the limits anymore. That would be the first solution, and then hopefully in the future we can put something in right before the main door so the noise doesn't carry out.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Director Fu if she has any questions that I may have missed before.
Yeah, so Zeke or Claudia, Oscar. So for the door, if it does get loud, you could get like a sound curtain. Some restaurants have it to help cover it.
Yes.
Also, sound meters cost a lot of money. You can use your phone. It's not the best, but the sound can be okay. You can use that, and just outside the premise. The noise ordinance does not allow sound to go over 50 decibels after 11 p.m. So that's something to note.
Yep.
So maybe the sound will help with that. The curtain will help with that.
It will.
I do have a question for Sergeant Holden. You stated that you used an app on your phone and you also have a handheld decibel meter.
That's correct.
Where did you get the handheld decibel meter from?
I bought it.
Can you send over the specifications for that meter?
I could, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, or like a photo of it, just so
Maybe
we know
not
what
right
kind of meter.
immediately, but tonight I can take care of that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And I have, sorry, one more question for Zeke.
Yep.
Why do you guys have a microphone on the premise?
Sí, porque tenemos un micrófono aquí.
Porque nosotros hacemos, o sea, tenemos para hacer karaoke. Entonces,
Okay. They have a license for karaoke
Okay,
during the week.
okay. All right, those are all my questions.
Any further questions from Director Joyce or Director Fu?
I don't have any questions.
Are there any other individuals with us who have been sworn in who wanted to provide any further testimony about this alleged incident?
Madam Chair, Sergeant Gallagher here. We have responded to noise calls in the past. They were from the new building that was actually behind Nafara. We haven't had them recently, but we'd be more than happy to go out and do a sound reading for them when and if they want, and we could help them download that sound app to their iPhone. It's got a pretty good reading. I think it's plus or minus 2 decibels. So if 11 o'clock, if you're hitting 70, you're definitely no good. But we're more than happy to help out here.
Thank you.
Look,
Thank you for that. Anything else anyone would like to testify to this afternoon?
I just want to explain to Claudia and Oscar what the officer just said. Que
Sure, please do.
pueden ayudarnos a bajar la aplicación en el teléfono. Entonces, para que después de 70, después de las 11 de la noche, 70 es mucho. Entonces, yo creo que es buena idea que nos ayuden a bajarla. I just explained what the officers said, and they agree that it's very, very helpful to have that app on the phone.
very good.
Thank you for that. If there is no further testimony, that will conclude this afternoon's hearing. The Entertainment Division will take this matter under advisement, and the Executive Director will issue a written decision. Thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.